What's going on, YouTube? Oh man, there's quite a bit going on, honestly. Obviously, a lot of it's political. I don't want to talk all political all the time, but I mean, a lot of this political stuff is heavily economic at the same time. So, I know yesterday we talked about the trade war, and the trade war is over already. Well, not really. Postponed, more like I talked about yesterday. I mean, Trump seemed to be using it as a bargaining chip. Seems to have worked out pretty decently as of right now. It's been, like I said, postponed for a month basically. Mexico and Canada have agreed to some terms in the meantime, and we'll continue to hammer that out, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. Stock market, crypto, gas prices all lose their mind. I mean, everything's so emotional, it seems like, these days. And I mean, there is a lot of changes coming on. Today I really wanted to talk about the federal buyout program they're offering to these federal employees. I got to talk to my one buddy. He's a federal employee, and I'm curious if he'll take it or not, because I know he drives far for work each day. I have to holler at him and see what he thinks. Because I think if I was him, just in general, I would take that. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. Might as well just get paid out. If you don't know what this is, as of right now, the last number I heard was 20,000 federal employees have taken this buyout offer that Trump has offered, and that's basically they will pay them until September of this year. You can basically quit right now, and they'll pay you until September. Benefits, pay, all that stuff till September. So basically, you keep your job till September, even though you don't have to work, and that gives you plenty of time to go find another job or something. And they're just implementing this, I would think, as a cost-cutting measure. They just want to cut back how big the federal government is. And like I said, 20,000 people isn't nothing. That's a lot of people, and I guess those people would be flooding the job market at this point. So unemployment, I don't know, 20,000 people isn't going to ruin the unemployment numbers or anything like that. But I mean, in theory, that's a bunch of white-collar jobs for the most part that are going to be entering the workforce. I did some rough math on it. I mean, I think federal employees are making more than $70,000 a year on average. And if you take into account other things like your insurance and all the benefits you get, I think it's normally like 1.5 or 2 times your salary is what your benefits kind of come out to if they're good. Especially government benefits are probably more expensive. And just rough math on that, 20,000 employees at $70K a year is like $1.4 billion a year. So I mean, they'll pay them for the rest of the year, but then in theory we're saving $1.4 billion after that in perpetuity until we hire more back, I guess. And like I said, if they're making more money than that, which a lot of them probably are, and if there ends up being more employees and the benefit costs, I mean, we're looking at easily $2 or $3 billion in expenses that are going to be saved here in a little bit. And honestly, I think this whole thing is just, in general, the tides are kind of changing a little bit. I don't know if you've been watching the videos. I got a different job. I got closer to home up here. I actually work for a state government now, technically. And we just got an email that's from old DeWine, so our governor. I don't really honestly know anything about him, to be honest. He's been the governor for a hot minute here in Ohio. And he just issued an executive order that was all state employees under his jurisdiction have to report back to work. So no more remote work, true remote work from like home or anything like that. And that was kind of a perk that my job offered. That would have been nice to have, but can't even work from home one day. Not even one day. Just one day would have been nice. But I mean, it is what it is. In reality, it didn't mean anything to me. I've never worked from home before anyway, and I'm so much closer on a in a driving concept. I mean, it really, nothing matters to me. That I don't care. Would have been a nice thing to have, but is what it is. We'll keep it moving. The other benefits outweigh that by a lot, so I don't really care at all. But I know there is going to be some people that I don't know them really that well yet because I just started this job. But I mean, I already heard people talking. There's some people that are obviously kind of like, oh, what the hell? Like, they're used to that at this point, working from home, or they move, and they kind of thought that would be a thing forever, and now they live far away from their place they got to report to, things like that. That's what I was saying. My one buddy that's a federal employee, he lives like hours away from his technical report location, and he drives down every once in a while because he has to, but I think he was driving 2 times a week actually at this point, so it was getting kind of like crazy as it is now. And if he has to go 5 times a week, I mean, what are you going to do? Drive 10 hours a week? I was driving 10 hours a week one way, so he'd be doing double what I was doing at least. I was driving 10 hours a week, just an hour each way to work every day, and that was getting kind of, I mean, it was doable but annoying. 2 hours each way? No way, dude. It's impossible. 5 days a week, I can't imagine how that works out, honestly, long term. There's no way you can sustain that. So that's another thing. I mean, they're forcing people back to work federally. That's another incentive. They're trying to give an incentive / not an incentive because there's no positive. They're basically trying to get you to quit. If you're far away and you really like working from home and you don't want to go back to work, they're just like, well, then quit. I don't know how well that'll work, but I'm sure it'll get some people to quit. I'm sure, honestly, at the place I'm at now, there might be some people that will quit just because they're like, well, I live too far away and I'm not like moving back closer to where I work, and they might quit as well. So we'll see how that goes, honestly, in the long run. But Ohio, I don't think anybody really saw it coming. I mean, none of my like supervisors or managers or anything saw that coming. So I don't know where we go from here. I mean, things are getting a little wild. Elon's ruffling some feathers up in the general government in total, but he's looking into the Treasury Department now. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, I'll try to stay up with it because as we go here, I mean, this definitely has some economic consequences, and honestly, it's just kind of fun to watch. So it's interesting. At least things are getting shaken up for the good, for the better, we hope. But I don't know. Remains to be seen. We're only, what are we in, like 3 weeks in? Trump's like been in for 3 weeks, so not really that long. 2 weeks in. There's a lot going on. So let me know what you think about it, especially if you're a federal worker. If you're watching this from Ohio too, let me know how that's going to impact you. I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts on it were. Yeah, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe, come back for more. I appreciate it. Almost to 100 subs. We got like 95 now, or 5 off. That's getting real close, so that'd be sweet. And dislike it if you didn't get anything out of it. Let me know why. Tell me why it sucked. If it sucked ass, just tell me why. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.